Jesus Christ, can my mic work, please? That'd be nice. Okay. This is gonna be a different style video, but, we're going for it. So, I went to a Ren Fair recently, and for those of you who don't know what a Ren Fair is, it's a Renaissance festival. It's, think kings, queens, pixies, dragons, all that kind of stuff. And, just everyone's dressed up. It's everyone's acting, they're in a Renaissance character, they're, it's just a fun time. And I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience, because I thought it was really fun, and, not a lot of people can experience things like this, so I just wanted to make a cool video about it. So, to start off, we were here for a wedding, which I will show clips of the wedding, because it was gorgeous. I can't believe that someone was able to have their wedding at this type of Renaissance festival. Like, it made me so insanely jealous. I love what I did for mine, but there's always a little bit of jealousy there whenever, the ceremony looks as gorgeous as it does. So yeah, we get there. We're about an hour early because we're told by the, bride and groom, be there about an hour early. We're there an hour before it opens, and we're standing there, and the lines start growing straight off the bat. We're trying to wait to get in line with the bride and groom so that we're in at the same time, all that stuff. But the lines keep growing and growing and growing. And at this point, we're starting to realize, oh my god, this is going to be a disaster. The fair itself opens at 10:30. We had to be ready for the wedding ceremony by 10:45. So we're sitting there, in our costumes, enjoying our time, and while we're waiting there for that hour for the bride and groom to show up, my husband walks off. Now, in preparation for this Renaissance festival, because I was the type of kid who was I grew up not having a lot of money, so I would go to events, school events or whatever, or friends would bring me, and I'd go to these things and not be able to get anything. Growing up, I was that type of kid, so I decided, just in case for the kids who are here who might not be able to afford things, because if you don't know, Renaissance festivals are expensive. Anyway, I made them tiny little potion bottles, just little tiny trinkets that they could take home, maybe make into a necklace if they want to, a bracelet, whatever. So my husband walks off, and I'm sitting here, just standing there on my own, and I'm like, okay, well, now's a good time as ever to go find some kids and, hand out some potion bottles. And, I walk up to kids, and I walk up to the parents, I'm like, is it okay if I give your kid a potion bottle, just a little trinket, right? All the parents are very excited. The kids are like, yeah, thank you, all nervous and stuff, because it's a random stranger walking up to them, handing them something. But there's this one kid. There's this one sweet little girl. She's 12, 13 maybe. She's dressed up in full princess gear. She's full on, accurate outfit. She's got stuff in her hair. She's looks adorable, right? So my husband's not here, and I walk up to this kid, and I swear to God, it felt like I was going up and saying, oh, hey kid, you want to buy some drugs? And the kid just stared at me. Just stared. And I was like, yes. And I was like, okay, that's not comfy that it doesn't make me comfy that it felt like I was offering you drugs and you said yes to me. That was a whole scenario. But anyway, my husband comes back shortly after this kid, and I tell him about what happened and all that stuff, but time is ticking. It's maybe 10:35 at this point, and we're or not 10:35, probably closer to 10:20. We're sitting there, we're we have to be in the park by 10:30 at the latest. we gotta be there and ready for this, and the lines are, at this point, multiple car rows back, like at least 5 or 6 at this point. Plus the distance from the parking to the, like, actual doors, right? So my husband's filming for this wedding, so he's filming, you know, different bits and pieces, and he's distracted. It's whatever. I wander off and find a staff member to be like, hey, we're part of a wedding that starts in like 20 minutes. We need to be inside. And so she's like, go up to the front, you know, whatever. And my poor husband sitting here so confused, because I just walk up to him. He's recording, you know, he's trying to get this footage here of like all of the cars and like all of the people that are like in costume waiting to get in. And I just start dragging him, just full on dragging him. Like, he's literally like, what the hell's going on? Like, what is going on? I do not know. So we got in. We were in, you know, about 5-ish minutes before they open, which was honestly really cool. For anyone who's never been to one or doesn't know what they're like, whenever you're at the festival, everyone is in character. I mean, every worker there is in character. They are strict about it. You will rarely ever see someone break character. They're all like really into it, and like they have passion into it, and that's something that I can go on for days about. It's the passion in how, like, in just like, it's indescribable, honestly. But we're in early before it starts, right? So no one's in character yet. Everyone's just kind of chilling out, you know, like, hey Dave, hey Bob, how's your day going? It's good. You know, things like that. And so we're inside listening to the, like, dude, he's on like this like castle wall, and he's talking to the crowd and like doing like a whole bit about like, oh, the queen's here and blah 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 blah, you know, all of that stuff. And we're listening to that, and we're behind the scenes, so we see all of the staff like in their positions, just like waiting. And I didn't know that this was gonna happen. They have a cannon, a full-blown fucking cannon. It's not one of those big giant ones. It's like, honestly, like maybe the size of my keyboard. Like, it's not a big cannon, but my god, dude. They fired it. Like, they legitimately fired it. There was no projectile in it. They just kind of like packed it with the the gunpowder, and then lit the gunpowder so that it, you know, did the thing. There was no projectile though. I can't describe how loud this tiny little freaking thing was. It's like listening to a little gremlin. Like, how loud that is. That's what it felt like. It was absolutely insane to experience that. So yeah, by now we're in the fair. Everyone's being let in because that cannon was it was them signifying, okay, the gates are open, you can all enter the kingdom, quote unquote, like, you know, whatever. So we're inside, we're waiting by this adorable pond, you know, for everyone to get in and, you know, get over to us. Because by this point, the bride and groom are still outside, in line, in the very backs of the lines, and so are some of the other wedding guests. So I'm texting them, like, we're sitting outside, I'm texting them, I'm like, no, just go up to the front, like, just tell them that you're a part of a wedding and you need to be in here, like, they'll let you in, like, go, you know, because we're starting to panic, and, like, you can tell the staff is getting nervous because they're still not in. So there's this dude, and this dude is part of, like, my favorite part of this entire trip. The entire time he has this, like, stick that says "'Tis a wedding," and he he's like yelling for the couple, Lincoln and Lily, and we run up to him, we're like, oh my god, they're still outside, they don't know if they can get in time, and he just looks at me with this most like, it's very like, I'll rescue them, you know, and he goes, we'll get them, and he starts charging out through the crowd, screaming their names at the top of his lungs. And oh my god, it was cracking me up. Like, oh, I was laughing. And they finally get in, and my god, I know I'm talking about the Renaissance Fair itself here, but I have to talk about the wedding. The bride, absolutely gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. I loved her outfit. I love that she managed to get a dress that was Renaissance, but still wedding. Absolutely amazing. Once everyone was ready, we actually were part of a parade up to the chapel that they have. Now, this is the Ohio State Renaissance Festival, so it's a pretty big, you know, fairgrounds. And we did the parade through about half of the fairgrounds up to this chapel. And there's still a whole, you know, day going on. They still have, like, people going through, so, like, they're parting this crowd for this wedding, and the wedding is going on in the chapel while there's just people casually walking around. We heard a dog barking in the middle of the wedding. Like, we were so confused. Like, it was an unreal experience. And obviously the wedding itself was gorgeous. Props to the Ohio State Ren Fair for how much effort they put into each wedding, because it was a lot. The reception was gorgeous, you know, all of that stuff. There's a whole side story with the reception. Remind me to tell you at the end. So, reception's done. Day's about halfway through. And we're free to go. We're free to go explore. So we're exploring, and there are so many shops. There's so many food stands. There's people everywhere. And it's all in character. It's all so bright. It's all so colorful. There's crowds of people in costumes. There's workers in costumes outside of their stores, you know, shouting and trying to scrounge up business kind of thing. There's even people performing just like songs. There were people performing tricks. We walked past one dude who's on a tightrope. Probably he's on a stage, and then the stage has like the tightrope about 10-15 feet up in the air, and he's juggling flaming axes. Like, this is free. This is completely, free in the regards of you pay for getting into the park, and then you know, it's just there for you to watch. And you walk around and you realize how much talent is around you, and how much passion and energy is going into every single day. There's so many gorgeous shops, and even the shops themselves, the passion behind them. There was, if I remember correctly, one of the shops I stopped in, there was leather-bound books that were hand-bound, so like you could see the individual pages where they sewed them together, like all of that things, like that stuff, and then the leather was like hand-cut around them, wrapped with leather, all that stuff. It was gorgeous. There were a lot of shops that sold jewelry. I mean, listen, I am a female at the end of the day. I do like me some jewelry. I was looking around at some of it, and it's all just gorgeous. Like, and they kept it on theme too. It wasn't just like, you know, here's a Gucci pendant, you know, off-brand, blah, blah, blah. It's like everything had a meaning. Everything was, you know, there were stores where you could get your coat of arms painted on a shield that you could bring home. They had legitimate blacksmithing, and there were like legitimate swords, bows, all of that were made at the fair. And it's just insane. It's an insane experience that, like, I wish I could share more of it. And I mean, I have the clips that I've been showing, but there's just so much more that, like, I can't convey. But by the end of the day, you know, it's hot, and this entire time, I'm wearing an outfit that I hand crocheted. So it's not, you know, a light outfit that I'm wearing. It's a very thick outfit. I tried to make it as airy as possible, and it helped a little bit, but by the end of the day, it's hot out. I'm wearing a full yarn outfit. I am tired. And boy howdy, I don't think I can explain to you how much of a sensory nightmare a Renaissance festival is. But, like, it was just, even while I'm overwhelmed and stressed and so exhausted, like, everything is still going on, and the people there are so nice. They're so kind. Like, I could tell that if I had ever gone up to any of them and was like, hey, I'm having, you know, sensory issues, can you point me in this direction, that direction, whatever, they would just immediately be like, okay, here you go. Like, do you need help? Do you need a water? What do you need? Like, that kind of stuff. But it was still so kind. Like, everyone was so kind, so open, so welcoming. And I know part of it's their act, but part of it you can tell is just them as people. But yeah, by the end of the day, we get to the joust. And we're lucky because the wedding party, in the package that they got for their wedding, the wedding party got to sit on, like, the queen's side or whatever it was called. Like, we got to sit right next to the actress who plays the queen. We got to see it from that perspective. We had, like, very comfy seats that had cushions, and we got a free drink and all of that kind of stuff. And the second we sat down and looked up across the jousting field, it's insane. The amount, like, you get a perspective of how many people are here. Because when you're looking at it, at first you're immediately like, holy crap, that's a lot of people. You're like, holy shit. But then you realize this isn't everyone. Not everyone's here. And for me, as I kind of watched the joust, and yeah, the jousting was cool, don't get me wrong. But I kind of had a realization that, like, the passion that the staff has isn't just the staff's passion. It's shared among the entire crowd. The entire community is all feeling the same thing and all loving the same thing. And it's just something that, like, I wish was easier to convey. And I hope that even through just, like, clips and me trying to talk and ramble a little bit about it, people got to feel a little bit of the excitement that I felt while I was there. And maybe you're the type of person who's like, oh yeah, I could go, but I don't really know if it's worth it. I feel like it is the type of experience that every time is a new experience. Every time is something different. But no matter what, it is worth it to go. And if you ever have a chance to, even if it's something small, like, oh, the local theater department in your high school is, you know, doing a Renaissance fair or some silly thing like that, go to it. Because you're not just gonna find people who are just there to be there. You're gonna find people who are passionate. You're gonna find people who are loving their life at that time. You're gonna find people who are excited and happy, and the energy is so high, and it's one of those things I wish I could share more. I wish I could share that feeling. I wish I could share everything, but all I have are these clips and what I can talk about, and I hope you enjoyed, because it was something I had fun with, and I just wanted to share it with everyone. But yeah.